Joining the mind of the mind for Minderals.
I am Mason Rosenthal.
I am Megan Mazurek.
And we will be your guides on this
Radical
journey.
human consciousness.
What is it? Consciousness is at once the most mysterious and the most familiar thing. What could be more familiar than your own subjective experience? The feeling of what it's like to be you from moment to moment. That butterflies in the stomach feeling when you go out on your very first date. Or the hot flash of embarrassment when you notice.
My fly is down.
But what exactly is consciousness? Who has consciousness? Why do they have it? Scientists have yet to come to any lasting conclusions. You see, it seems as if our reality is made up of two very different substances. On the one hand, we have the objective world of forms. And on the other hand, the subjective world of experience. But how do we bridge the gap between the two? In scientific circles, this is what we call the hard problem. Now, there are two approaches to the hard problem, the first of which is called
Dualism, popularized by René Descartes in 1641.
with dualism, there is no problem. These two separate substances seem separate because they are in fact separate substances. One we could call the world of forms, with things like
Atoms,
and
molecules,
building up into even larger and larger things like
pickles, babies, dinosaurs, bricks, the Time Warner Cable Building.
and on the other hand, a parallel realm of mind stuff. Things like
Psychic energy, thoughts, feelings, pure consciousness, and even souls.
in the dualistic model, the immaterial soul enters the material body and causes a
Reaction,
pure consciousness, which is itself formless, enters the form of the body and causes a
reaction,
the non-physical will informs the physical body, causing a
reaction,
and then all these other energies zoom, blam,
reaction,
and Scooby-Doo and style,
reaction,
bacon chips,
reaction.
and all this other stuff comes in your brain in the form of thought, and then suddenly you have the desire to speak.
I think, therefore I am.
This form of dualism is called Cartesian dualism.
Mind over matter.
You see, Descartes posited that the soul communicated with the brain in
The pineal gland, a small pine cone-shaped gland in the center of the brain, also known as the third eye.
and dualism proves so popular because it feels right. It feels as if somewhere inside of your head, looking out from behind your eyes, is a little man at the controls of a great machine, making conscious decisions about when to stand up. But let's think about this for a moment, huh? Who's inside of that little man making conscious decisions? Is there another little man?
Ask Mason how his day was.
Ask me some how there was.
How was your day, Mason?
Great, thanks, man.
Pretend you care.
Pretend you care.
Gee, that sounds swell.
And inside of that little man, is there another little man? Sneeze.
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 Achoo!
Bless you. And inside of that little man, another little man.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Sit down. And inside of that little man is there a little dog. And inside the little dog is there a little cat. And inside the little cat is there a little mouse. And inside the little mouse is there a little spider. And inside the little spider is there a little fly. Bzzz. I don't know why she swallowed that fly.
Perhaps she'll die.
So you can see where this is all going, huh? What we have here isn't a theory of consciousness at all, but rather a theory of puppetry.
No!
There is no one place in the brain where things come together into consciousness. No little man at the controls of the machine. We scientists call this the homunculus fallacy. Homunculus being the Latin word for little man.
Mason, did you say redunculus fallacy?
No, Megan, I didn't. I said homunculus fallacy with an N.
Did you say redunculus phallus? See?
No, Megan. Megan.
Did you say phallic C?
Megan, stop.
C of phallic.
Megan.
Phallic C. C.
Megan,
Phallic C.
stop.
Phallic C.
Stop right now.
Phallic C.
Megan.
Phallic C. C of phallic.
Stop. Another way out of this whole mess is called
Dualism. With
With
dualism, these separate things seem separate because they are in fact separate
Megan,
things.
stop. Megan.
With dualism, there's
With
cause
monism, there's only
and
one
soul,
fundamental substance.
and all
that-
sorts of amazing things. There's the brain, and also there's.
With monism, there's only one fundamental substance that makes up reality. Most scientists nowadays are monists and describe reality purely in terms of matter. Matter is king, baby. There is no zippity doo dah, no fucking la la land, no psychic mumbo jumbo, just atoms and molecules and things. Everything in reality can be described in purely physical terms. There's a process called physicalism. Everything is physical.
Physical.
One of my colleagues
Dr. Antonio Damasio, born 1944.
has put forward one such physicalist approach to consciousness. Damasio believes that consciousness is not monolithic. It comes about in not one, not two, but in three separate stages. The first of which he calls
Proto-self.
with protoself. An organism is not yet conscious, but it has the prerequisites for consciousness, which include the ability to neurologically map its current state, mostly relative to homeostasis. Something like a
Worm.
or a
Bacterium.
or a
Virus.
has a protoself. The next stage is called
Core self.
with core self. Not only does the organism have a sense of self in this present moment, but it's also able to generate neurological representations of objects to be known. Now the organism has not only a sense of self, but a sense of other. Something like a
Bird.
or a
Boar.
or a
Bear.
as a core self. The final stage, Damasio calls,
Extended self.
we, human beings, have extended selves. Also, domestic dogs, cats, marine mammals, elephants. With extended self, not only do I have a sense of self in this present moment, but I also have a historical self. I'm able to create memories of past selves, and paradoxically create anticipated memories of future selves. And because we human beings have complex language centers, I'm able to tell myself the story of myself over and over again, which is how we get to things like, my name is Mason Rosenthal, and in the past I was afraid of commitment, but now I'm ready to settle down and start a family. Or, my name is Mason Rosenthal, and I'm currently pursuing a PhD in neuroscience. Or, my name is Mason Rosenthal, and I'm night blind, which means you have to hold my hand when we go to the movie theater. And my name is Mason Rosenthal, and right now I'm doing a video recording. You may have noticed my assistant here, Megan, but this isn't the real Megan, it's a copy. That's right. It's a copy of the real Megan Mazurek I made some 2 hours before this performance began. This copy is exactly identical to the real Megan, down to the subatomic particle level. The question then remains, is copy Megan conscious? You see, if you believe, like monists do, that consciousness and matter are one and the same thing, then you would have to say that yes, of course copy Megan's conscious. But if you're a dualist and you believe that matter and consciousness are separate things, you would have to say that Copy Megan is not conscious. And, well, how could we tell if Copy Megan's conscious? Well, we could ask her, "Hey, Megan,
Yes, Mason, what's up?
how are you feeling right now?"
I feel really great. I had 3 cups of coffee earlier.
Megan seems to have subjective experience. She feels really great. She even has memories of having 3 cups of coffee earlier. But is she really conscious? Does she really experience what philosophers call qualia, the redness of red, the blueness of blue? Or is she just faking it? Which begs the question, how do we know when something's conscious? With recent advances in brain imaging technology, things like functional magnetic resonance imaging, positron emission topography, scientists have begun to map the neurological correlates of consciousness, which would be a major win for monism, because if we could figure out where consciousness is happening in the brain, we wouldn't have to resort to any kind of metaphysical explanation. But even with all these new technologies, the very basic questions about consciousness remain unsolved. Try this question on for size. Am I conscious now? What about now? And that's little space in between there. Asking the question, am I conscious now, is a little bit like opening up the refrigerator door to see if the lights are on. Anytime you ask the question, am I conscious now? Oh, the answer is yes, of course I am. How about this question? What am I conscious of now? Or how about this one? What was I conscious of? Hey, Megan, get down. Get off of that. Down. Excuse me. Who was I? I mean, where was I? Right. What was I conscious of a moment ago? You see, if consciousness is like a stream of one thought flowing to the next, there should be one answer to the question, what was I conscious of a moment ago? But consciousness is not like a stream. It's rather like a storm, with many things happening simultaneously.
My nose itches.
We know that the brain is a radically parallel
My
processing
glasses are fogged.
machine, which means that nothing is
Walking this way.
either in or out of conscious experience until we prompt the brain for an answer and it conveniently comes up with one on its phone.
I'll pause. Gesture.
Which brings me to the work of a Benjamin Libet.
And walk this way.
You see, what Libet did is he studied
Gesture again.
free will.
It was flexing wrists.
He had subjects flex their wrists at a
Walking
time
this way.
that they had decided. Yes, they
My
made
nose still
the
itches.
conscious decision to flex the wrist.
My glasses are fogged.
Libet basically measured the moment the wrist
concentrating
flexed
on the video.
and
Are you understanding free will?
conscious
Does
decision to
anyone
make the
understand
wrist
gesture?
and unconscious brain activity.
Go this way.
And what
But then I don't know.
discovered
And nobody's.
is
I was thinking that I was
unconscious brain
nervous.
activity.
But are you understanding that?
Okay, just like conscious and nervous. Which means
Because they're there.
there's no such thing as free will. Give me 1 minute, I'm sorry.
Who cares if I'm a copy anyway? Megan's just a flesh and blood frame. As she clung to her life, I copied each dying sigh, 'cause I wanted to be conscious, just the same. Give yourself over to monistic pleasure. Swim the warm waters of sins of the flesh. So you've got neurons and synapses and all sorts of things firing. Well, whatever. You dualistic daydream of gods and heavens and souls forever. And you just see it. You're a machine. Don't dream it. Be it. Don't dream it. Be it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's true.
Dream it.
Megan is a copy, and she doesn't even know it. How could she? Everything's been copied, her physical body, her memories, emotions. Which begs the question, could we all be copies and not even know it? Could that sense of self you see when you wake up and look in the mirror in the morning just be a bundle of sensation pulled together into an illusory self that comes together and then fades away?
Now I'm giving birth to an idea.
And I'm going to make a
The
list
idea
of all of
is
the birds that come to mind in a stream of consciousness form. Eagles,
Mason is the eagle.
blue jays,
I'm wearing a blue jay suit.
peregrine falcons,
And now I'm a bird.
blackbirds, bluebirds, redbirds, cardinals.
And now I'm giving birth to an egg. I'm a bird.
I'm a baby bird. I'm a chick. I'm a hot chick at the beach.
And I'm a dude looking at a hot chick at the beach.
I'm topless.
Ooh. Ah.
Now I'm wearing my top.
Shit. What happened to taking your top off?
Now I'm taking my top off. It's a top hat. Now I'm pulling a rabbit out of the hat. I'm a magician.
And I'm a bunny.
I'm a playboy bunny. I'm taking my top off.
And I'm that top on the floor.
I'm a doctor.
And I'm dying.
I'm a priest.
I took too many pills. I'm a playgirl bunny. I mean playboy bunny. I mean playgirl bunny.
I'm playing a bunny, but I'm really Mason Roosevelt.
I'm a girl.
I'm playing at being a doctor, but I don't have a medical license.
And now I'm a boy. Hey, take your top off!
Hey! Take your top off!
Hey, take your top off!
I'm a rabbit in a race.
And I'm Mason's racist aunt.
I'm a rabbit in a race to erase racism.
And I'm Mason's aunt racing the rabbit to erase racism.
I'm a racer. I'm racing my own. My thoughts are racing. I can't think of where I'm going to go next. Now I'm a turtle.
Now I'm
and
a
I'm
racer.
rabbit. And I'm a turtle.
I'm a racer.
And I'm a
What just
rabbit.
happened?
And I'm a turtle. And I'm a rabbit. And the fastest thing always wins, but slow and steady wins the race. And I'm white.
And I'm the turtle winning.
I've always been a loser.
I've always been a loser. I'm copying Mason. I've always been a
I've
loser.
always been a loser. It all started.
I'm still copying Mason.
8 years old.
It all started when I was about 8 years old.
And my friend Michael
My
Trinity
friend Michael
beat me
Trinity
in the
beat
balls
me in the balls.
because I lost.
'Cause I
game
lost.
dodgeball.
I've always been a loser. It all started when my Michael Trinity
Made me in
beat
the
balls and Trinity
And I've always been a
and
ball.
that ball. And then Matrix with Trinity.
And then,
They met me to meet Grinder Balls Trinity. I was a loser in meeting Meatballs, the movie.
eating meatballs, the movie.
And making Trinity.
Meatballs, the movie.
Ninjas.
Me moving in meatballs. Me swimming in a sea of balls.
And they just
A sea of balls, and I was crawling on top of, and I was and my balls were the size of
and then I was
minutes.
just bawling my eyes out because
I'm sorry,
I didn't
I'm a
want
loser.
to be a loser anymore, and I was just needing my. And
Now,
I
and
now
I
try
to
eat my maker.
and
Now
I'm
about
to
go
space. And now I'm racing time! Racing!
and now I'm exploding.
And I'm rewinding! Erasing time! My heart's racing. For Megan.
Now I am a heartbeat of America.
I'm stalking Megan.
I'm a car commercial.
I'm about to meet Megan and beat Megan to help Megan meet her maker.
Buy this car.
I've ended Megan's time.
And I'm taking Megan's soul. And now I am the devil.
And I'm the And
with
I'm
the devil.
a cross. And
Now
I'm a cross.
the devil.
And
Deviling.
Jesus.
This isn't really a performance. It's not really a lecture either, or a teaching. I don't know what it is. It's not a teaching in the traditional sense, because I have no new information to add to your mind. No new thought forms to add to your collection of thoughts. Instead, I am awakening the part of you that is not connected to thought or to forms, that part of you that is pure consciousness before it has entered the dream of form. I'm speaking to the part of you that is awake. So, really, I am not teaching you. You yourself are